So Warblades. So 3 months ago, I made a video saying that Omni-Man beats Bardock, and a guy named Warblades Omega had a problem with this video and made a debunk to my video. While I am 3 months late, I will be dismantling his 23-minute long video that was targeting my 1-minute video. Let's do this real quick.
I refer to him as Dr. Ignorant for the rest of this video because how just blatantly wrong he is on like 90% of what he says. Claims that Omni-Man stomps Bardock. And once you watch this video, you can see very clearly this guy doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
All these ad homs, man. All these ad homs. Just get into the video.
Well, even Death Battle has him at Beyond Planetary and faster than MFTL Plus, and they're the ones everyone thinks lowballed him.
I don't give a goddamn about what everybody else has to say about Bardock's scaling. I also don't give a damn about the scaling that Death Battle gave to Omni-Man or Bardock in that fight. I just agree that Omni-Man wins.
So, can you explain how he's not Beyond Planetary and FTL Plus?
W burden shift. It is your burden to prove that he is. What the fuck's going on? Hate to see it. Simple. The reason why I think that he's not Beyond Planetary is due to the fact that I haven't seen a feat of his that gets him beyond that level, or a feat that he scales to that gets him beyond that level. Same for the speed.
Bardock's power level and base is 10,000. You go, no, it's pretty consistently there, and even the canon timeline. King Vegeta's at 10,000. I think you saw this in the Death Battle if you watched it. King Vegeta casually with a fucking hand swipe blew up 3 planets. That's Beyond Planetary, buddy. And Death Battle claims these planets are smaller than Earth. That is kind of inconsistent given that everybody that's ever talked about sizes of planets in Dragon Ball, like Nappa, for instance, thinks Earth is a small planet.
Your argument doesn't justify the conclusion. I'll be explaining why. Your argument is that it's inconsistent for the planets that King Vegeta destroyed to be small due to the fact that Nappa goes on to see that Earth is small. But the size of Earth has nothing to do with the size of these other planets. He could call one planet small, and that doesn't automatically mean that the other size of this other planet is now determined. The size of those planets could be like the size of Europa, it could be the size of Earth, it could be the size of Mars, fuck it could even be the size of Jupiter. We don't know. So blah blah blah, I'm throwing a simple Hitch's razor at your ass and dismissing the argument entirely.
You put it. And how's the FTL? Well, let's see, Kid Goku could dodge fucking lightning and light, and Kid Goku's power level was like barely 200-ish by the end of Dragon Ball. He dodges the lightning and light long before then, by the way. And then Bardock's over here at 10,000. Power levels in Dragon Ball make you faster. So right there, even with that low-balled ass scaling, he'd be FTL. That's just...
That had some smoke on it.
Don't tell me you're talking about the solar flare. The solar flare is created via your own key, so I don't know why we'd bring that up in the first place when its intensity or how strong the solar flare is dependent on the user. So if the properties of the solar flare is dependent on the user, why wouldn't the speed be dependent on the user as well? What else are you talking about? Kid Goku dodging lasers from the robots? I hope not, because those laser beams blow the fuck up. Literally don't even act like lasers. The only thing that you can really argue for when it comes to light speed or relativistics, etc., would be Roshi blowing up the moon. But unfortunately, we don't know how much time it truly takes Roshi to send his Kamehameha to the moon. Then there's also faster characters seeing a death beam from Frieza as a flash of light, but we're not going to get into that.
Wait, are you serious? Most people aren't arguing he's not planetary. They're arguing it took 3 of them to destroy Viltrum, plus the Infinity Ray, which means he doesn't scale to the full power output of Viltrum like Death Battle has him scaling to.
What? I've talked to a multitude of people, a lot of fucking people on this topic, and a lot of them think that Omni-Man does not scale to the feat because there's multiple people that was doing said feat. So maybe it's just a difference between the people that we've met.
Oh, you're not even gonna try to defend it?
I could defend it. It's really easy for me to defend it. Just didn't want to.
Or like, argue that Viltrum's bigger or stronger than normal planet, which it is. Viltrum is fucking massive, by the way. Viltrum is way stronger than normal planet. It took a star-level beam in order to destabilize its core.
Remember this, guys. He said that a star-level beam only destabilized the core of the planet. Also, to give you a little bit of information, the destabilization of a planet has nothing to do with the gravitational binding energy of said planet. Because even if you destabilize the core of a planet, it still has the same amount of mass. If it still has the same or roughly the same amount of mass, then the GBE of the planet wouldn't change. Meaning via his own admission, a star-level beam is still not strong enough to take out Viltrum. Cool.
And the crossovers are incredibly inconsistent, obviously, as they're acting like he's like galaxy level, despite him getting his ass beat by people who die inside stars.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
But the pressure or the force of the star wasn't what affected them. What affected them was the heat of the star. As you can literally see Mark and Thrag being burnt by the star. Which is crazy because at first they were completely fine until he went to the core of the sun. But yeah, I'd love to know the correlation between the force of a star and the heat of a star.
You're forgetting a major part of Omnipotus' whole thing is that he causes chain reactions to destroy the celestial bodies he destroys, which means he isn't having like solar system levels of energy as he's going one by one basically over time.
It stated that he absorbs the energy of the matter he destroys and that it amplifies his overall stats. So why bring up that mute point?
But even with that, in the anime, stuff like Frieza destroying Planet Vegeta is solar system level. And before someone goes,
Cool, I don't care about Frieza. Frieza could be solar system level for all I care. I don't give a damn. Bardock's strongest attack got swallowed up by Frieza's fingers, so I don't give a damn.
stars anymore, you could unironically argue Super Saiyan Bardock, who's barely weaker than Frieza, who nuked that planet with stars as moons with one finger,
Don't care about a non-canon Bardock.
die from a star-level cannon. The Infinity Ray, a gun whose best feat in the entire canon of the show, involves either the Viltrum feat or blowing up a star in the show. And Omni-Man himself is the one who says this can just kill Viltrumites, which it can do. We see it happen. So if Omni-Man is, like, weak to this gun, he's susceptible to this gun, that's only star level.
The Infinity Ray obviously has a capacity to what it can destroy in terms of inorganic objects, but this same law does not apply to organic objects. That's why it can't destroy Viltrum, but it can still destroy the characters that can destroy Viltrum, and even stronger characters than the characters that can destroy Viltrum. That's why it can blow through Viltrumites, but it cannot blow through Viltrum.
In his own verse, he's narratively implied to die from a black hole if he were to go into it.
Bro's just saying shit at this point. Just because he's allowing the thing in question to take him doesn't mean that the thing in question can hurt him. This is also ignoring the fact that there's an accretion disk around that black hole. So I don't understand why we're implying that it's the force of the black hole and not the heat that's around the black hole. And I'm still waiting for the correlation between heat and force. Unless you think a thermonuclear warhead is stronger than the sun.
He has to do it through a chain reaction, meaning his durability is in solar system levels, I already explained. It's getting up there, but it's not quite there, because he didn't just nuke the solar system.
Yeah, he didn't just nuke the solar system. He nuked his entire universe. Omnipotus was continuously destroying shit within his universe and then absorbing said thing. So blatantly, the energy of the matter he destroys would be stacking in his own body. Mind you, that means that he'll be destroying supermassive black holes. He will be destroying supergiant stars, dwarf stars, neutron stars, etc., etc. Since the energy is stacking, once he destroys his universe, it will be universal since he's absorbing all of that energy. So cool, it could be over time. That doesn't really matter because he's stacking that energy on top of his own energy.
Based entirely on statements that can't even be fully backed up, as they aren't even from the main series. They aren't even meant to imply to the main series. They're from, like, 90% of this is crossover shit. Which isn't, I mean, it's kind of canon to the main series, but it isn't at all.
Oh, hell no, twin.
Let's do this. The author already said that this shit was canon. Not only that, there's no actual contradictions within the series. The contradictions that you proposed are either A ray gun that has no capacity towards what organic matter it destroys, or B, heat, which has nothing to do with force, or just blatant headcanon. Those are the supposed contradictions or inconsistencies that you are proposing.
Before hyping Omni-Man's speed up. Even though, assuming you're going with this to try to claim that the death battle was right and Omni-Man beats Bardock, I mean, you didn't even prove Omni-Man's faster than what they said he is.
My video wasn't piggybacking off of the calculations that Death Battle had proposed. It was just me saying that I agree with the conclusion, which is just that Omni-Man beats Bardock. That's literally why I bring up shit for Omni-Man that's not even inside the actual Death Battle video. That's why I also say, can somebody get to Bardock past FTL+? Because I'm not abiding by the calculations within Death Battle. One more time for you. I am simply agreeing with Death Battle in the sense of Omni-Man winning, not with the calculations that they proposed. After that, he just goes on this tangent about like me quote unquote saying that like Bardock's not planetary, when I never said that. I said get them beyond planetary, but by all means. And like, it's 2024 when you made this. Why are we still using power levels? They're not linear to the character's strength nor speed. Sometimes the character is relative when they have lower power levels. Other times they're not. It's not relative at all. Like, it's not linear. Yeah, that was some hot doo-doo garbage. Really bad. It's crazy because I took under half the time to dismantle this video. Crazy.